Yo, JD here, and we are finally here with our first hot lap and setup of the series, and we're going to be doing calendar order, new track every single day, and we're starting off with Australia, Melbourne, and as usual trying to get the best possible exit onto the start finish straight, DRS as early as you can. And for this first corner, you won't be looking at the second brake marker board, which is a 100-meter board. As soon as you pass that, take a little bit of this first corner, want to kiss it on the entry, take half on the exit, DRS as early as you can. Go into this next right-hander, you won't be looking at the 100-meter ball once again. As you go past that, take a reasonably late apex, third gear last minute, go completely flat out into this corner third gear, short shift into fourth to avoid the wheel spin on the exit. As you go past the red part of that barrier, that's your turning in point. And for this, you won't be braking at the last orange board, just slightly before it, 10 meters before it, take half of the curb on the exit, flat out through this corner. And this is a very difficult corner, you won't be braking about 75 meters out, so between the two orange last balls, no curb on the entry but curb on the exit, let the car drift out. And for this corner you will be looking at the black box on the right hand side. As you go through there, as you pass that, about a second after that, that's when we're turning middle of the track and then turning half a curb on the entry again, DRS this time this year. And now you will be looking at a 100-meter board. As you go past that, take a reasonably late apex for this black box. As you pass that, that's your turning in point. Use all the curb on the exit as you can before the black box, that's your turning in point. Late apex, use as much of the track as possible, short shifting up through fifth to avoid wheel spin, DRS once again. And we're going to come towards the line now, and we have done a 19.3, which I feel after 10 or so laps, or 11 laps, I feel that was a pretty good effort there. There's still time to find, but that was enough for P3 on the leaderboard, which I was reasonably happy with, considering this is a track I'm not really too fond of in pace in previous years. So we've got NRR Evos on top, which is pretty much the exact same setup as him. And change a couple of little things, I think the tyre pressures and just a little bit of suspension that's changed, but pretty much I thought that was a very good setup to actually use in fact as well. Whereas Valtteri surprised using a completely different setup for us. But I felt my setup was really good, just for stability, wasn't too oversteered, just very good to control. And you can see 5.8 wings. I felt going lower than that was too much understeer, anything higher was too much oversteer. It felt to be like the perfect balance in terms of that, combining that with the weight distribution, which we'll be talking about in a second. But 5.8 wings definitely felt pretty nice around here. And anything higher on the wings, on the rear wing, just felt a little bit too understeery. As for the transmission though, 65, so just a lot easier on the traction, but 100% to locked, it would just give me more traction advantage. This suspension geometry is just purely for stability. If you had it all the way to the left, all the way to the right, as you would do in 2013, that's for more turning. For this suspension, on the front and rear suspension, that's just to allow it to go over the bumps a lot easier, much easier to control the car. On the front anti-roll bar, you want that a little bit more than the rear. You really want the front to turning a lot more, with the rear being quite stable once again. And on the front ride height, you just want to just really grip up the car at the rear, but you just want to increase the drag profile on the rear just a little bit more. Whereas on some games you run 4.3, but this is something still to be played with. Probably will update these setups as we play through more of the game, but for now it just feels a really good balance for me. The brakes are pretty much all preference. I run 89-52, really stops the car and gives it a good turning when you're going through the corners. As for the tyre pressures, you want the rear quite a bit lower than the front tyre pressures, because again that just gives you, really just helps with traction as well, of just stability of the car. And 8 balance or 8 weight distribution, anything higher than that, I felt it was a little bit too oversteery. And probably for online, when you do league racing, stuff like that, you probably might even want to put it down a little bit more than that when that actually is the case. So you can see our sectors here. Our first sector was not really far away, but it was just the middle and the last sector really. I just really need to perfect that a bit more. But that was enough for third on the leaderboard. 19.3 is a very quick time. So hopefully you found that useful. Give it a like if you do. And every single day I'll be doing a new setup video. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll catch you soon. Peace.